And we're live. Welcome to Fired Up Live, you guys. Happy episode number 13. Can't believe it. Keeps getting better. We have so much fun on this show, and you guys really make the show what it is. So after, I do my whole thing, we do an awesome chit chat. I sit there and go through the comments and look at what you guys are saying, and it seems like you're enjoying the show too, just as much as I am, which means the world to all of us here at FIREDISC Nation. So I'm your host, Claudia Hoyser, like usual, and please ignore my Band-Aid today on my finger. I wasn't using my FIREDISC utensils like I should have been, and here we are. So just another reason why you should be using the FIREDISC gear when you're out and about this summer, grilling on your cookers. So I heard that our guest tonight might be a big fan of Ashley McBryde, and so am I. So I'm going to do a little Ashley McBryde tune for you to kick things off. To the bag packed, first love lever, the heart cracked, double down dreamer, the homesick for grass that's greener, and a slice of mama's peach pie. To the flat broke, couch cushion gas money, the worker bee that ain't getting no honey. Missing someone all the while running, gunning for the brighter lights. Here's to the breakers that didn't break us, the breakdown wrong turn to take you to a little dive bar and Delonica. Hear a song from a band that saves you, man. It's hitting rock bottom, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nothing's going right, making the best of a worst day kind of night. You know this one, don't ya? We've all got a number we don't want to junk dial, and a good friend we ain't seen in a while, and a slow dance left in these boots, and a chance of putting on new roots. Here's to the breakers that didn't break us, the breakdown wrong turn to take you to a little dive bar and Delonica. Hear a song from a band that saves you, man. It's hitting rock bottom, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nothing's going right, making the best of a worst day kind of night. Yeah. Oh, here's to the breakers. Here's to the breakers that didn't break us, the breakdown wrong turn to take you to a little dive bar in Delonica. Meet a girl outside Atlanta, man. It's hitting rock bottom, smoke 'em if you got 'em. Nothing's going right, it's making the best of the worst day kind of night. Here's to the breakups. It's my kind of night. So stay tuned. We're going to get to the winners of last month's episode, after we chat with our guest. So you're going to want to stay tuned. And why don't we just bring her on right now? How about that? Thank you so much. All right, I know we're going to have a ton of fun with our guests today, so I just want to get right into it. And just a little quick heads up,
I released a song this week off my new upcoming album. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for that because we might get a little sneak peek of that later. There's a whole bunch of awesome things happening tonight for Fired Up Live. So I'm going to keep this intro short and sweet, but don't let that fool you because this girl is on fire right now. She's 24 years old and a Belmont University graduate from Oklahoma, but she has been named Wide Open Country's Artist to Watch 2020 and then was named Music Mayhem's 2021 Artist to Watch. And they've got that on the head right now. She's got so much going on. She's got a new release called Stones that I'm sure she's going to tell you all about. And she's had a passion for singing and songwriting from a very young age, and that has just erupted throughout her life. And I don't think she could hide it now if she even tried. So I want you to make welcome our very, very special guest tonight, Allie Colleen.
I did it. I know I need you now.
Hi.
Hey, Allie, what's going on?
Oh, dude, a lot is going on.
A lot is going on, and we need to address this right away.
So, as soon as I got on here, we had to preface. I have a lot of tattoos. Obviously, I do. Today, I have extra than normal. I have some fake ones going on that I cannot get off my face.
Most are real, but you had a wild night full of fake tattoos.
I did.
We need to hear about this.
So
what were you doing?
I have this really cool project coming out with my friend Carter Winter. We have a duet that's coming out in August.
Carter Winter is awesome.
Yeah, so we have a duet coming out. And so we went to shoot like all the cover art for it last night, in which we decided we should just incorporate our normal life into what we do. So we just took a bunch of Polaroids last night. We just like went out and like had a night on the town and like had so much fun and just took all the Polaroids.
So fun.
And which eventually led us back to home putting fake tattoos on ourselves, trying to look like Posty and also
wait, so the tattoos weren't for the Polaroids, or they were?
No, they were also. It just wasn't. It wasn't like we were like we're gonna do this whole shoot to end up here to do this. It just is what happened. And he has hand tattoos, and I don't. So we did hand tattoos for me.
Oh my god, those are fake?
Yeah, so these are fake.
Those are amazing.
Yeah, so these
you gotta
are fake.
send me some of those. So like next time we do a talk, we can both be tatted up.
Right. So when I went to go get my neck tattoo, I would wear temporary ones all the time, just like make sure that I liked something right there.
Yeah.
And so he has like a huge temporary eagle like across his neck right now because he wants a neck tattoo also. So yeah, we're tatted up. So don't mind me, you guys.
That is so awesome.
Because I can't get them off. So
you were in Nashville doing this, filming with the Polaroids, and for the next project. When's that coming out? That is so cool.
Yeah. Right now, the tentative date is August 6th. There's a couple other
6th.
releases and things like happening that day that we might adjust or move around. But right now, that's the plan. And it's called Love Like I Drink. And it's just this awesome duet. So that was kind of how we went and shot it last night. And it was really fun.
That's awesome. Did you write the song?
I did not. It was a pitch to him. And he reached out to me probably over a year ago now. And that was the first time that we met. He just reached out to me and was like, hey, I have a duet and I love your vocal. I would love to meet, see if we like vibe, if we hang out, whatever kind of thing. And we just kicked it off from then and we've been buddies. And we love work together.
That's so cool. So you weren't even friends before that. He just like was like, I need you on this song.
Right.
Wow. I love when that happens. Yeah, we've been following Carter. Me and my roommates from school, we were like obsessed with him, and he liked somebody's tweet once upon a time back in the day. And I remember like sitting on the bed just freaking out like, Carter Winter liked your tweet.
I wish he would like wander in or around. He's somewhere around right now. But he has like way more face tattoos on than I do, and I don't know.
So he's hiding. He's absolutely hiding.
I don't know if he remembers. You know what I mean? Just in the sense of like, I woke up and walked around this morning a lot before I looked in the mirror and remembered that we had this on my face. So I hope he's.
Please tell me that's fake.
Miscellaneously wandering around with it, but it's a really cool project, and we're really excited for it. All that to say,
that is so cool. Can you tell us what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Love Like I Drink.
Oh yeah,
and it's coming out in August. Yeah.
Very cool. Everyone be on the lookout for that. It's going to be sweet. I can already tell. And I can't wait to see the videos and the pictures from that. All right. So I want to get into a little bit of your history because you've got so much going on now, but it all started. Am I right that your first release was called Work in Progress, and this was in 2019?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love this song. I've been listening to your Spotify, and Work in Progress is just one of those that just like pulls at your heart. And you've got this line in there, I'm the best I've ever been, but not the best I'll ever be. And that's such a like glass half
Yeah.
full kind of line. I just
Well,
love
and it
that.
should always be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it should always be true. Like, no matter what, going forward, I don't know what happens after perfection, but I feel like it's really boring. So
exactly.
I love work in progress. I just feel like it's applicable at any time for anybody and always for me as well.
I love that so much. And this one, you said that it's about the life that shaped you. And so I just kind of wanted to know why this song. Like you've been writing and you wanted to put out music and become a performer. Why was this the first song you decided to put out there?
I was raised in Oklahoma, and I knew that I wanted to do music my whole life. There was never a time when I didn't want to do music. That was what I was going to do. I chose Belmont University here in Nashville in like
Awesome.
8th grade. I didn't look anywhere else. I went there. I applied to the songwriting program. I got in. And all that to say, when I chose Belmont in like 8th grade, my dad and we kind of sat down and we talked about music and future. And I made a deal with my parents then that I would go and I would get a degree, and I would spend, those 4 years after high school really just working towards education and working towards myself and not just jump into anything too quickly. And so all of that to say, when I graduated in 2018, we went on the road for like a year before we released Work in Progress. And I don't even know that we had the song yet. I want to say we had it for maybe just a year before it was released. So I don't even know if we'd had it yet, but I was just looking for that introductory like song for me and this beautiful world and business of music that I have entered into and I'm living in. And I do have my family's in the music industry, and I do have a history with that, and a lot of people know that. So I just wanted from the gate everybody to understand that I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just,
like we all have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you can learn from the best all you want, but you have to like dive into it yourself.
Absolutely. And do it yourself. And then even that, like my family and I have talked about sports and like working our whole lives. Like that's what we talk about. You know what I mean? So all that to say, I don't even feel like I came with any kind of prior knowledge that everybody thought I had anyway. So Work in Progress was such a sweet spot for me to introduce myself and to be like, hey, I'm Allie Colleen. This is what I do. And I'm figuring it out, and I'm work in progress. And I think that was something that really helped people relate to me in a way that they weren't just like, oh, here's so-and-so coming out here just because she wants to do music, And I thought it was just a really good introductory song for us to release music tour for the first time.
That's super, super awesome. Yeah, I just love the song. I saw you wrote it with Marcus Hummon, who happened to write a hit for the Dixie Chicks. And
yes.
Unbelievable. Cowboy, Take Me Away. What was it like working with a writer like that?
Marcus's brain is faster than me running like for my life. He's everything he does is just quick and witty and like almost effortless, and it's like a little intimidating but also so welcoming. Work in Progress really came from Marcus. I was lucky enough, Miss Jennifer Wayne introduced Marcus and we were all on a write one day, and he kind of mid-write, I think he kind of realized maybe who my family was and those kinds of things, and was really just genuinely interested in like what that looked like for me. For him being so successful, he definitely didn't look at it like most other people. He heard it and was like, oh, that sounds like it sucks. Like, what's that like? And I was like, right, it kind of does.
That's really tough. It's really tough when you're like, you've got to follow in the footsteps, but you have to make your own path and, make it different for a reason. And yeah, so there's a lot of story there.
So we briefly talked about that. And then Marcus, just the next time we got together to write, he was like, hey, I don't know if we came to write for you today, but like I have something for you today, and it was basically Work in Progress. We kind of just sat and worked on the chorus together, but he was amazing. It was me and Marcus and Greg Beck on that one. And then Marcus and Greg co-produced it as well. So I'm very, very proud of Work in Progress.
Very cool. I absolutely love it. And after talking to you, I'm a little upset that I didn't know songwriting was a major, because I went to school for 4 years too. I'm like, okay, thinking I'm going to go get my big girl job and then sing like on the weekends when I have time for it. And then slowly but surely this life kept finding me. And I didn't study songwriting. What was songwriting class like?
It's wonky, you know what I mean? Like, try and put a rubric on creativity. It's like really tough because you can't tell somebody they did it wrong. You know what I mean? But that's the cool thing about Belmont is they do focus on like commercial songwriting. Like, it's not just overall songwriting; it's like commercial songwriting. So a lot of it is like publishing law and copyright law, and as well as the creative classes. But I got to teach a after school program over the pandemic with a school in Oklahoma over Zoom. And I love what you just said, because going into that class and like telling those kids in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma, that they can go and like there's songwriting majors. There's, if you
Yeah.
play band, like you can go to Disney Studios for college and go to band and be a percussionist and like add all the sounds to Disney movies. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's so many really cool creative jobs that people have no idea are like a full profession.
Right. And it took me so long to accept that. Like I had teachers at school looking at me like, well, what do you love to do? What do you love to focus on? What do you like to do on the weekends? And I'm like, well, I love to sing. I love to write songs. I like to make music, but I can't do that for a job. And they're like, well, why not? Why can't you work in music? And then I meet my now manager and producer, and he's like, well, why don't you work here for the summer and we'll start working on some music? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, but that's not how it works. That's, that's too fun. That's too much what I want to do. And when you finally realize like, okay, wait, I can put all my time and energy into something I actually want to do.
Yeah.
It's just why don't, it's not the easiest. It's not the easiest. You got to like, there's definitely things that you have to sacrifice to be able to do what you love. But, yeah, I don't regret
I
it for a
agree.
minute.
I think we just need to like, I think kids just specifically
Open the horizons.
Yeah, need to understand, especially girls too. I was talking with like an audio engineer kid the other day, and he was talking about how hard it is to find girls to work with, like in audio engineering. And I was just like, I just don't know that girls are told. I know dudes aren't either, but we just need to be told more that we can do this stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or just
I
not
agree.
even worry about other people. But doing stuff in music is so cool. Like I wouldn't do well anywhere else. Here we are.
I know. I think like even if I tried to steer away from it, somehow it comes back into my life. It's just what we're supposed to be doing.
Will.
So yeah. So cheers to that, to doing what you love. It's awesome. And I want to talk about this concept project you put out with a couple of your tunes, Best Friend and Road You Take. What made you want to do this? What was the story behind this concept project?
I love this project so much, and I don't really think anybody really understood it, but that's okay.
Well, hold on one second before you even say that. I was playing your Spotify on a loop for the last few days, and my manager and co-writer was like just hanging out around the studio, and all of a sudden he comes running in, and he's like, wait a second, what's that song? And I'm like, it's called Road You Take. And he's like, I love that song. That's a great song.
That.
So people did understand it, right?
Good.
From just hearing it.
Good. It was, so I've wanted to do a concept album my whole life. I thought that was such a cool challenge to like write specifically for a concept album that flowed all the way through all that stuff. And then obviously in this day and age in music, no one's doing albums, and we're kind of being told not to do albums also. Like the algorithms will not work for us if we do albums, whatever. So I was like, okay, I don't know if I'll ever get to do that, but I could do a collection. Sure. And so I had this beautiful, beautiful relationship growing up. It was just, she's my best friend and she's everything for me and all those kinds of things. And we all have one. Mm-hmm. And it ended up just not working out, and it was bad or whatever. And that whole relationship ended in probably 2017, 2018. So I wrote Best Friend then, and it took Dallas Remington and Scott Barrier and Cindy Torres to help me write it. And it's just this beautiful, beautiful song about this relationship. And then your hook comes around, and it's just no one breaks a heart like a best friend. And it just finally like pays respect to that breakup that we all go through that's like never really acknowledged. You know, if I change my Facebook relationship status after 6 months, oh my God, you're going to check on me. But like my best friend, you know, that I grew up with, like once she disappears from my Instagram, everyone's like, oh, girls will be girls. I couldn't be friends. Right. You know, so I wanted Best Friend alone just to give the proper like emotional respect to like that heartbreak and that whole thing. And then I played it at the Bluebird one night, and I was lucky enough to get to write that night, or to be in around that night with Miss Mel Rowe. And she kind of messaged me that week later, and she's like, I'm still thinking about your song Best Friend. It got me. It's so good. Also, you might need forgiveness in your heart. Let's write a song. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, well, I'm not interested in the forgiveness part, but I am interested in the song part. So I'll chase this rabbit with you. We'll entertain it.
Like, okay, maybe I do need some forgiveness. Let's do it.
And she was so sweet. And it just worked out perfectly in the sense that I had just saw this sweet girl recently in my life, because we have like a family connection. And when I saw her, everything was different. You know, she wasn't that little girl that just broke my heart. She just grew up, and she was different now and all that stuff. So Mel and I sat down to write Road You Take that day, which lands on forgiveness ain't a line you cross. It's just a road you take. And so Best Friend and Road You Take are about the same exact person. They're just 3 years apart.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
I have goosebumps. So you're talking about
Mm-hmm.
it. That's
So Best Friend and
so
Road You
good.
Take are both about the same beautiful little girl. And it's just like that whole journey of like how hurt you can be, and then how you can just choose to not do that anymore. You know what I mean? And they're
Right.
beautiful. And so you guys should listen to them together. The artwork for both of them is a vinyl, like side A and B, because we just call both of them Best Friends side A and B, because that's just what they are. And so that was kind of our concept collection that we put out last summer. Everybody's like, I love the Best Friend song, and then the one about the dude that you forgave. And I was like, no.
It's not about a dude.
No, it's the same
No, I
thing.
love that, because that is such like a deep relationship that we rarely talk about or sing about. It's like your best friend. Like they're there through all of the stuff you go through. So like they're there even more so than a significant other. And so for that to end, it's like even harder. It's like a family member. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah. So I love that. And I need to check out Best Friend. I loved Road You Take, but now that I know the backstory, I need to give that one a listen.
Please do.
Amazing. Okay. So it'll be a year ago today. Oh, it sounds like a party over there. What am I missing?
I don't know, because I can hear them, but I cannot see them. But I'm sure they will be momentarily not in here.
Oh my God, it's fine. It's okay. We need to bring the party anyway to this Fired Up Live. So if I'm not mistaken, it was a year ago almost today that you released your very first radio single.
It almost was, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was called Ain't the Only Hell. And this has a really cool backstory to it too. It's like a spinoff of a classic, right?
Yes. I had no idea of the Johnny Paycheck song until after we'd wrote it. And then, before you go to release music, sometimes you just check your title out, just to make sure there's not like 1,000 of them, or whatever. Because like with Along the Way, which I know we'll talk about, we wanted to call it Need You Now, but obviously we're not going to do that. So we called it Along the Way. So all that to say, didn't even notice the Paycheck song until I checked the title on the internet or whatever. But yeah, it's Ain't the Only Hell My Mama Raised. And it's just this beautiful song about, there's just this photograph that I have of my mom, and I've seen it 1,000 times, and I just saw it differently one day, and I just didn't see my mom. You know what I mean? I saw like that woman that she was before that, and I just kind of forget sometimes that my mom is a whole beautiful person. I just assume that she was put here to take care of me.
Right.
Like she's my mom. That's it. So that's kind of what Ain't the Only Hell is about. And just like I got to sit down with my mom and like talk to her about like all the stuff she used to do, and like get the lowdown on like what she got in trouble for and what she would do. And believe it or not, it was all crap I wasn't allowed to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
She's like, well, I got away with it, so you're not going to.
I know. And she knows how she got away with it, so she knows I'm not going to.
Right. She knows your tricks too.
Yes. But all that to say, then the chorus comes around, and it's just like, you can't expect me to learn from something I haven't tried. And it's just like, I'm the hell-raising woman I am because my mom was a hell-raising woman. I have 2 amazing hell-raising moms.
Amazing.
I have 2 sisters that are crazy. We all are. And we're just like hell-raising women. And so the whole song just goes up to moms and like what they do. And then also just like, mom, be confident in who you were as a kid, that your daughter's going to be the same way, which can be really scary. Yeah. But you turned out okay.
Exactly. She turned out okay, and you're going to too.
Yeah.
I love that. I actually have like this old photo of my mom that I found not too long ago. It was only a couple years ago. I was like in the kitchen, something fell out of the cabinet, and it's like this really cool, I don't know if it was like a senior picture or something, but she had like this awesome bow in her curly long hair, and like she's like leaning back on a stool, and she looks like a total model. And I'm like, Mom, what is this?
Right? Just
yeah. Like you just see it like in that 1 second. I'm like, that is so cool, because I'd never seen her that way before. And so I made that like her picture on my phone. So every time my mom calls me, I get the vintage model shot of my mom.
Same exact thing. My mom's on a lawnmower in my picture, but same exact thing.
That's awesome. All right. So, by the way, Ain't the Only Hell, that gained some serious traction. I mean, that broke top 30, Music Row, Country Breakout charts, number 9 on the CDX Traction, True Indie chart. And it hit all these amazing Spotify playlists that I can only hope my record hits when it comes out at the end of June. You were hooking up with Whiskey Riff, New Music Friday, New Music Nashville, Young Music City, and Next from Nashville. I mean, these playlists are like the Spotify curated ones that you just like hope that you're going to be accepted on. And you're on all of them.
We worked really hard with Ain't the Only Hell. A lot of it, I think, too, needs to go to kudos to Grassroots, our radio promotion team. I think they worked really, really hard to get us
awesome.
those playlist placements and those kinds of things. Also, Nashville is very, very kind to its independent music scene. Honestly, I know there's a lot of artists that I'm sure slip through the cracks sometimes because there's so many of us.
True.
But just with Ain't the Only Hell specifically, you know, I feel like just Nashville really rallied around independent artists and really focused on independent artists on those playlists. Because when I was getting that traction on those playlists, I was noticing that it was also just a lot of other independent artists as well being added to those. So I did think there was a really cool shift just in independent support around that time. But we're very proud of Ain't the Only Hell. And for our first radio release to go top 30, I was ecstatic. I was absolutely ecstatic, and I'm so proud of it. And so we love Ain't the Only Hell. And we love, too, that it did as well as it did, being about content that's just very genuine for me. You know, like we didn't have to pick. Our radio single wasn't that one on the album that I don't even like that much, but it's commercial. You know what I mean?
Everybody would like it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that wasn't the case. You know, it was just a song that I loved, that I believed in, that I also did feel like had a great summer feel, like did all the business check marks you do, but it was still very genuine and something that I believed in. And so then promoting it wasn't a tool or a chore, you know what I mean? It was just this song that I love and got to go out and play. And I think that also led to some traction. It's just artists doing what they love to do. People really like to see that.
Awesome. I love how I can tell like how involved you are with the whole like backside of like the whole, how everything works with radio and the playlist and Grassroots. And I'm really hands-on the same way in the studio. Like I'm here for every single bit of it. So I overhear the conversation with the radio people. And so then when we finally meet, I'm kind of like, okay, I know this guy. And there's just so much that goes into it. And I can tell you really are on the inside track with
so
all
beneficial.
of your music.
It's so beneficial for you, for me, for everybody. I mean, like you said, just to be a part of it. Like nobody has to catch you up to the problem before you can fix it. You already know how it works. You're not caught off guard. You are right. Like, yeah, you work your butt off, but that's okay. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. No, I love that. Because a lot of people don't have that advantage too. Like some people, you know, you get the amazing people that are going to help you out and do the hard things and
Absolutely.
They have to catch you up. And so that's really cool. All right. Your original song, Close Enough. Over 700,000 views on YouTube. That's amazing.
I didn't even put it up, so I'm mad about that. You know what I mean? Somebody else put it up and got that many views.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean? Was it like a live version?
So the one that has the most traction right now is this beautiful one that the Belmont Vision did for me, the newspaper at Belmont. They realized my family history and they realized all this stuff, and they really wanted to do a cover of like a video of me in the Belmont Vision online that talked about what that was like for me, and all those kinds of things. And I was like, I didn't move to this town to talk about my family. Like, no, but I was in the journalism program and my teacher was really sweet and she asked me to do it. And I saw that the Vision videos maybe got a couple hundred views, you know? So I was like, cool, honestly, this isn't going to matter. It's going to be awesome. So that's kind of an even cooler part of the fact that it did go to over 750,000 views. And not even the interview part, which I thought was my favorite too. Like not even the part that talks about all the stuff I don't really want to talk about, just close enough. Because they did them as two separate videos, you know, like the performance and the interview. So just the song, just close enough took off.
Wow.
And that was really cool for me too, because
so good.
It didn't have all that weird wonky weight that I didn't want it to have. It was just close enough. And close enough is just this beautiful, I always call it a love song. But it's obvious. I mean, it's a worship song, and it's just this beautiful worship song about just not being able to get close enough, like in that relationship with God and in that stuff. And my favorite thing about it is we all have a Cooper in our lives. My Cooper is always higher than everybody else, just having a good time. You know, like on a Tuesday, he's going to be already going for it. It's Cooper, you know. And I ran into Cooper really late in the dorm rooms one night, and he walked up to me and he goes, "Hey, did you know? And no matter how hard you squeeze your fingers together, there's still air in there." And he walked off. That was literally it. And I just sat there and I thought about like a relationship like that, like literally that close, skin on skin, flesh on flesh, whatever it is. And like, there's still like air in between you. You know what I mean? Like you're still not close enough. And I feel like whether you are really far from God or really close to God, that's always true. Like you just can't get close enough, whether you're trying to or just can't get close enough because it's good and kind and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's just where Close Enough came from. And the fact that Cooper was the vessel to make that happen makes me so happy.
I
you know
love
what I mean?
that. That's amazing.
So that was one of my Belmont moments that I felt very Belmont-y about. Was the whole creation of Close Enough. But we were very lucky to do that, and then got to put out this really cool lyric video later on that I did put up. That was just fans wanting to be a part of it, which was really, really cool.
Wow. Well, congrats on all the views, all the traction, all the
Thank
playlisting,
you
all the
very
radio
much.
success. I mean, this is so cool. And I'm just so excited to like continue to watch all of this grow because, I mean, the first one only came out 2019. So like you've been doing this for a long time, but you're also kind of just getting started in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's
100%.
really exciting. All right, let's talk about Playing House because I love this song. And this has been one that I have had on repeat on your Spotify. And I really want to talk about this before we play a clip.
I love Playing House. Playing House is spooky and a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it's supposed to be. You know, Playing House was one of those ideas that I had in my songbook for years. And every time I would take it to a write, just nobody wanted to do it, and that's okay. Because it just worked out perfectly, obviously, on the day that they wanted to. And I walked in the room, and it was Billy Dawson and Jason Matthews. And I was like, listen, guys, to be honest, everybody passes on this idea. I care about it a lot. I'll keep my pitch short.
Wow.
I want to write about playing house. You know what I mean? Just that relationship. I thought it was going to be more of a substance-y thing. I thought it was going to be maybe a kind of more of an alcoholic relationship where she's just always cleaning up the next morning. You know what I mean? Just always playing house, like always resetting her scene to just start the day over, you know, kind of thing. Or even the other version of just a man who becomes really sweet all of a sudden, you know, when he's drunk. And now it's going to work. Now we're going to make it work. And you're just playing house. You know, that's kind of what I thought it was. And my co-writers loved it. But that's the beautiful thing about co-writers. They were kind of like, let's just back off it a little bit, because if that's what you're experiencing, you're going to get there from playing house. You know what I mean? But if that's not what you're experiencing, that might be a little heavy, might be a little too much, whatever. So they were like, is there kind of a lighter vein to do, but still really make it serious and impactful? And so we kind of went more of that non-committal right of like, what are we doing? You know, and there was a relationship in my life at the time that I was just watching, that I was just kind of like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Great people, just don't know if you're for each other. You know what I mean? And at that point, it was their 6-year mark. And this was 2-3 years ago. They are married now. Beautifully married, all this stuff. And I love so much that that's also something cool about Playing House, is it really does show that really can be a season. It can be a relationship that you shouldn't be in and need to be done with and move on from. But it also can be a season where it does get pretty and good. But Playing House is just good and spooky. And we've had it for so long. So it was the first song we wanted to release from our album project that we released in April. So we're releasing these songs kind of one at a time. Amazing. And Playing House was the first one to come out for it. And I love Playing House.
I love it. Your vocals on it are just so beautiful. The little trills on there, they just like give you the chills. It's just gorgeous. And I think, that's something we've all seen in our lives, at least whether it's your relationship or someone else's, you've seen it. Yeah. And it also reminds me of Patty Loveless. You Don't Even Know Who I Am. Just kind of, you come home from work every night and you have nothing to say. It's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
So I love that concept. And I also love that you kept bringing it to your right. Like, even though people passed on it, you're like, no, I know it's good.
Yes.
It's like Mary Morris and her songs, you know, she wasn't going to do them herself. And then she's like, I think my church is a hit and I'm going to do it. Look where she is now.
The creative process is just so cool. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I just grew up writing by myself, you know, because I was the only kid that wrote songs in my town. So I just wrote by myself. But I do think that that's something that's so undervalued when you're looking at the creative process, is just what you wouldn't have been able to do without your co-writers. You know, like Playing House, I might have held on to it for years and pitched it and like worked that idea and really worked on it and all that kind of stuff. But like Playing House would be absolutely nothing if Billy and Jason wouldn't have wrote it with me that day.
Right.
And I love that whole creative process of like this town and what we get to do.
Yeah. I have a song just like that. It's the title track of my current album that's going to be coming out at the end of June here. And it's called Red Lights Turning Green. And I thought the song was totally done. Like, I was away at school. I thought I had this, like, you know, I was so proud I got this one done by myself. It's going to be great. I'm going to bring it back to the studio, see how it goes. And we actually picked it up over FaceTime. I was introducing the song to my co-writer and he was like, you know, that's really something, but I think I think we're going to work on it when you get back. So I came home for summer break and we broke it out and he's like, it's great, except there's no chorus. I'm like, what do you mean? The chorus is right here. He's like, no, we got to work on a chorus. And if I hadn't, like let that opportunity
Absolutely.
sink in, we wouldn't have this song and we wouldn't have the title track of this record. Yeah. So yeah, it just shows you got to be a little flexible sometimes, but also like hold your own and know what you believe in yourself. And
well, and they're your babies, you know what I mean? Like they're your babies. And especially when you do start it by yourself, those are even more your babies because it's like, no, all of this is me, like this is, so the fact that you did allow him to come in and like work on that chorus and it made it so much better.
Oh my God, so much better.
Greatest thing on the planet.
Greatest thing. Okay, so we got distracted because I love talking about writing and all this musical things. But we need to play a clip from Playing House. Let's hear it.
The hourglass is corrupt and leaking sand. Thought by now I'd have a ring on my hand. 6 years right down the drain. We're still doing the same damn thing. Tell me, should I leave a light on? We've been doing this for so long, so long. Can you tell me where we're going? I can't tell which way the wind is blowing. I wanna believe in those sweet things that drip from your mouth. If those words were water, then boy, I'd be drowned in by now. Is this love, or are we just playing house, 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 playing house, house?
Oh my goodness, isn't that just the best? Everybody go check out Playing House. You can listen to it. Where do you prefer people listen? Do you have a spot?
I don't really think I care. I feel like I don't have too much traction on Apple Music, you guys. So go listen to it on Apple Music.
Apple Music. Okay, you heard her. Go over, save her songs to your playlists, and there's more to come. But I want to talk about a couple of your influences before we get into your next one we're going to play. And I'll let you take this one away. Who do you love to listen to if you finally get a chance to listen to some music when you're not writing or playing?
Obviously, it's always different as we find people, especially in our world of music right now, where it is so easy to just find new artists every day, whatever. But my go-to, I don't really know that there's anybody I try to like emulate or anything like that. But if I did, it'd be Ashley McBryde. That's my person.
Isn't
That's
she
my girl.
amazing?
Oh, she's so cool.
Unbelievable.
She makes me want a whole chess piece. Like, she's so cool. She did the whole tattoo thing. I feel like she was a real trailblazer in like that sense of just a woman coming out of the gate that really just didn't look or do anything like anybody else. You know what I mean? And I feel like those are always rare finds, and especially for them to get the traction they deserve. Mm-hmm. I just feel like she's been such a good trailblazer for me personally and what I do. Also, my girl is Jody Messina. I want to be Jody Messina so dang bad. So I feel like Ashley's just like a pissed off version of Jody Messina.
Yes, that's the perfect way to put it.
It's perfection. Like, so if I can get anywhere near either of those two, I have nailed it.
So amazing. Both incredible, just icons. Ashley McBryde is unreal. When I heard Girl Going Nowhere, I was just like, my hairs on my arms were standing up. I got a chance to see her live and actually meet her a couple years ago. And she's just like too cool. She was too cool for me to talk to. I'm like,
honestly, I felt
being in her presence was just like, I don't even know what to talk to you about because you're so cool. And she's so sure of herself. And she's I love amazing. Her so much.
I got to open for her in Illinois a couple years ago, and I just remember all my socials were just like, not bad for a girl opening for Ashley McBryde. You know what I mean? Like, God. Just constantly. That's what all my stuff was, and I was so stoked about it. And I saw her a month or two ago. We were a good buddy of ours, Kristen Kelly, did an EP release, and so we both went to go play on it. And I saw Ashley that night, and she goes, "Hey sis, how you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, you know me. I just want to be you when I grow up." And she goes, "Well, you can't do both, so figure it out." Oh, and I was just like,
God, like, how do you come up with that?
Right? I was like, I'm going home. I'm done. I'm never going to worry about growing up again. This is stupid. I've already nailed it. Like, here I am. I'm Ashley McBryde. She's amazing. Awesome. So that's my girl.
So good. So good. It seems like her voice would just echo, like no matter what she's singing or what she's doing or what stage she's playing on, it would just like echo through the chambers of the Opry.
I love her.
No matter where she is.
Yeah.
All right, I want to talk about Along the Way, another one of my faves from your Spotify playlist. Just good vibes all around.
My little baby that nobody cares about, I feel like, is Along the Way. Along the Way is just my one that, like, I don't know if you're this way, but that's just my song that I'm just personally like, that didn't get what it deserves. Yeah. I love that song. It's literally a Disney, it's just like, it's like a soundtrack song. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally a soundtrack song. I love it. I totally get that. My best friend back home, her name's Emily, and Emily's soul, dude, is just like this wandering, amazing, beautiful thing. And I feel like the relationship and Along the Way is very similar to just loving somebody like that. Just being like, man, you know, if you're going to love them, you have to love them from afar just because they got too many things going on. You know what I mean? And I think that's so beautiful about that part in Along the Way where it's just like, dude, go and climb your mountains. But you better make it back. Like, just please come back. You know what I mean? And I just think that freedom and that boldness to look at somebody that you love and just want to be with all the time and encourage them to go is so selfless and so beautiful and exactly how God loves us and those kinds of things. So I just love Along the Way and like just the relationship that it's about and how sweet it is. And I told my drummer that I wanted it to sound like Phil Collins, and he got all excited. And then I said,
nailed it.
And then I said, but like on Tarzan, and he goes, really? You're gonna shorten Phil Collins down to Tarzan? And I was like, you need to change the way you look at Tarzan because that is the greatest soundtrack that's ever made.
It is.
So those are my little Easter eggs, my little Phil Collins drums on Along the Way. Oh my God,
that's perfect. Well, I love it so much. We've got a clip of it right here. Here is Along the Way.
You wanna feel your feet sink in the sand. You wanna feel your face against the wind. You wanna set your sails for open skies. And I hope that you discover yourself along the way to my heart, along the way to this bed, along the way to my arms, like the tide that pulls you in. And I used to say I didn't, but I know I need you now.
Well, I don't think that is a song that deserves to be forgotten at all. And I think everybody listening right now and tuning in for Fired Up Live needs to go find that one on Apple Music or Spotify or YouTube and check out the lyric video for that one. I think that's an awesome song. And yes, those drums were killer.
They do. They just grow the whole time, and I love it.
So good. All right, so we have to get into the nitty gritty now because I'm looking at all these tattoos, and the more I talk to you, the more like normal the one on your face is looking. I know. If anybody tuned in late, it is temporary, but honestly, it could be real because the one on your neck is real.
It's huge. I'm mirrored also, so I don't know what side I'm looking at, but it's huge.
So what is your favorite? Do you have a favorite tattoo?
I think it's just like songwriting. It's just like your most recent one that you've done that you really care about, you know? So I did my throat in January.
Oh my God. Did that hurt so bad?
It did.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to sing for a year.
I thought so too. I just thought like even checking like my blind spot would be miserable, you know, like just whatever. Yeah. But it really didn't. It wasn't that bad. I used numbing cream for the first time also. You guys should try that until it wears off. It's awesome. Once it wears off, it's awful. But, so I don't know if you saw Princess and the Frog, but
of course.
So there's this little Cajun firefly on there, right? And he's in love with the North Star because he thinks she's the brightest firefly, and her name's Evangeline. So this is Evangeline. This is my firefly from Princess and the Frog.
So cool.
I named my dog after it. We just call her Eve. And then when you're an independent artist, you just have to pick a record label, you know, kind of thing. And so my independent record label is Evangeline Records.
I love that. It all ties together.
Yes. So this is on like my drum head. When you come see us live in our band shows, we have our Firefly on everything. Everyone buys me dragonfly stuff because it is kind of anatomically incorrect, but it's not a dragonfly. It's a firefly.
It's a firefly.
But that one's kind of my most recent one. My sleeves are always a conversation piece. I love my sleeves. And my hand tattoos are fake today, but I will have them one day.
You're going to do it? Oh, I am. God.
And I think I'm going to do a black and white and a color. like the opposite. You know
There you
what I
go.
mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do the opposite of what's on my arms.
Of what
But
you
who
have on
knows,
the
you
arms.
guys? Yeah. But I love tattoos. I love them. I love them.
Amazing. I promised my dad I would never get one. And I honestly just changed my mind too much. Like I'll do the henna thing or the temporary tattoo and see like if I love it by the end of the week. And I'm like, I'm honestly sick of it. I don't know what I would ever choose that I wouldn't get sick of.
Right.
But
It's
I'm
totally
sure
a thing.
I'm sure there's something I'll think of at the end of
Well, hey, you
our
can
time.
get away with temporary tattoos. Oh, you will. And you can
that
change them
looks
every week.
so real.
You can change them every week.
My thing, not fireflies. My thing is a little vintage espresso pot. Maybe I'll have to get a temporary tattoo of that. So we put these in all the videos that went viral for us online, and it became like a Where's Waldo, and people were looking for them, and then now people send them to us and stuff. So the coffee pot haunts me. Are you a coffee drinker by any chance? You're not?
No, I don't drink coffee at all.
Fired Up Nation, FIREDISC Nation is tuning in right now, shaking their heads because we actually put our own coffee out because I'm so much of a coffee lover. So,
well, hey, I love the smell of it. I'd buy
That's
it
good.
just to smell it.
We'll take it. What about whiskey?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whiskey drinker? Okay, well, good, because we turned the coffee into a coffee whiskey. So you're going to have to try that instead.
Okay, deal. Yeah, it's much more normal for me to start my morning off with whiskey than coffee. I can promise you that.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Either one is acceptable, especially when you wake up with temporary tattoos on your face.
Yeah.
That's a morning you can start with whiskey. Okay, so I have one more clip I would love to play for everybody. And this one really touched me because I am such an animal lover myself. I seriously can't pass by one without just almost melting down. I love animals, and I saw that
you one of
did
those people
this.
that just like thanks dogs for being there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh my
like,
God.
when I see a dog,
I played
a
couple shows this weekend, and this guy noticed that I kept staring at his dog. Like I could not look away from this little Australian Shepherd puppy. And he finally just comes up and was like, "Do you want to hold it?" And I'm like, I'm actually going to steal it.
Yes.
I sang like 2 songs with this puppy in my arms because I couldn't put him down.
Oh, what a set, dude. What a set. I love it. My family runs a wild rehabilitation clinic in Oklahoma. So I've just grown up with wildlife and with all these animals and stuff.
Amazing.
And I believe that the video you're talking about is our sea turtle recovery video, right?
Yes, of course. Yes.
We got to do these really cool shows a couple years ago. It was right before Work in Progress came out, when we were still just kind of playing and like trying to really get a presence before we released music. We went up to New Jersey, and there was this just amazing, I don't even know how I got in touch with her, but Miss Brandy works at the Sea Turtle Recovery and like Orange Beach or something, New Jersey. And they just have like this little annex as part of the zoo where they just take in all of the sea turtles of the coast, because the only other place to do it at the time, I think, was like North Carolina or Florida. So anything obviously northern, they were, just unfortunately couldn't do anything. They would have to transport these turtles that needed immediate care 12 hours away, so it was really, really hard. And when turtles don't appropriately migrate, they just get cold stunned. And that's like kind of the biggest issue that they have there. Anyway, all that to say, I went to go play a show. They asked me to come into the clinic maybe the day of the show and just see it and look around, because we were playing a charity event that night for the Sea Turtle Recovery. And I just went in that clinic that day and spent the whole day in the clinic. And like, I've never seen a sea turtle before. And like, to look in the eye of a sea turtle is 100% prehistoric. Like, I've never seen anything like that. And it was so cool. And her name was Tammy, and she was huge, and she was a loggerhead, and I've never seen one, and she was massive. And so all that to say, we just started this amazing relationship with them, and they were so kind, and they continue to support us. We still email all the time. We did a Facebook Live just a couple months ago where we named one. We got to watch his recovery and re-released him. And I named him Olaf because it was winter time. So we named him Olaf.
Perfect. Olaf, how cute.
Yeah. So there's a little Olaf out there in the world that was released that's doing really good. All that to say, we have this beautiful song called Take Up Your Arms that I personally, I'll Maren Morris it. I know it's a Chris Stapleton song.
There we
go. One day, Chris
He's
Stapleton will sing Take Up Your Arms.
Chris, if you're watching, come on out of the woodwork. We know you're busy, but you got to sing this tune.
But it's just this beautiful song that's supposed to make certain types of people get all excited when they see a track list that says Take Up Your Arms. They're like, oh, I'm going to listen to this one. And then it's just take up your arms and put them around someone.
Oh my
like
gosh. I
just
love
take
it
care of
so
people.
much. All right, let's hear a little bit of Take Up Your Arms. And if you like this one, make sure you go find the YouTube video. It's so heartfelt, touching, and adorable. And Olaf is swimming around out there very happy about this one. So
Yes.
here's Take Up Your Arms.
We've got a job, oh, there's work to be done. Take up your arms, put them around someone. Forget yourself for a minute. Put your faith above. It don't matter how you spin it. The only answer is love.
That is the most beautiful song. And you're so right about Chris Stapleton needing to cover that.
I think so too. I love it. Y'all go give some love to Sea Turtle
So
Recovery. They work
good.
really hard.
I
They're
couldn't
really
have
good
left there
people.
without one. Did you get to take any sea turtles home?
I think
They wouldn't have done well in your bathtub.
They wouldn't have done well in my bathtub, but I would have made sure they did well in my bathtub.
Oh, yeah. Sprinkle in a little salt in there. I would have been like, okay, I got to send them back to Sea Turtle Recovery. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so tell me about what you're excited about coming up. We finally, the gates have opened. We're getting back out there again. What's going on for you?
We had an album release, my very first album release. We had a debut album release in April, and we're only doing physical sales right now. So,
And that's called Stones?
Yes, our album's called Stones. You guys can get it on my website. It's just alliecolleenmusic.com. We're selling literal CDs right now. I hope you have a place to play it. If you don't know how to, Google it. It's very easy. It's very easy.
If you've never seen a CD before, you don't eat them. No.
The amount of conversations that have happened about the CDs you guys recently are insane. But and it's not even like it's sometimes kids that don't know what to do with them, but most of the time it's just adults that don't know where to play it. They're like,
Yeah.
do you know where a CD player is? And I'm like, you should have a boombox at home, honestly, somewhere.
Right.
I know you do, so go find it. But anyway, we have CDs out. They're all coming out individually and on streaming wise up till Black Friday when it all comes out. But I think my big thing that I'm just looking forward to with like the world reopening and going back out to shows and stuff is for the first time in my career, I am at a place where like maybe they're going to know the songs before I get there.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like for the
Yeah.
first time, it's not just, holy crap, who are you? I just followed you on Spotify. Can't wait to listen to all these songs you just played over again. You know what I mean? And it's been very kind and supportive and awesome and amazing. But now for the very first time, I'm starting to show up and they're already there, And so just to think about one, performing again makes me emotional, but to perform for people that already know my music and, came there specifically for me or something, I'm very excited about.
Right.
And,
oh my God. That's such a pivotal point. And it's one of those things like as you go through it, you realize what is important to you and like what becomes exciting. And that's something I never saw coming. But like when I looked out and saw someone singing my words, I'm like, how do you even know that song? It's not released yet.
I know.
And it's just the coolest feeling in the whole world.
Yeah.
So that is really cool.
Yeah. And that's what we say too on the road. It's like, I am a new artist and there's like, I'm sure a lot of things to learn about Allie and whatever the case is. But like this album that we're taking on the road and that we're playing, it's not 11 songs for you to get to know Allie. It's just 11 songs that are going to start conversations in your life that you need to have, and like songs that I would really, really love and be honored if the artist or if the listener just clung to themselves, you know what I mean? And doesn't even worry about how the song relates to me, it's just all about the listener and like that story and like just the nourishment that songs give us, kind of thing. So I'm just really excited to go out and to be on the road because also like you can learn so much about your audience by what songs they did come singing. Like the women that come singing Playing House and Best Friend, they're pissed, and have been for a long time.
Yeah.
And they just can't wait.
Can't let it go. And they couldn't wait to hear that
and
song.
Sing those songs, you know what I mean? And feel so validated for 3 minutes on that emotion of, whatever the case is. And it's just so cool. And it's been so special. And I'm just really, really looking forward to all of those little performance moments going forward through the summer and just through our careers,
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on everything going on. You've got so much to look forward to, and I'm so excited to keep following along. And I'm excited about this Carter Winter duet you're going to be coming out with in August.
It's amazing.
That is so cool. And the whole record and everything. I mean, they say that we're not supposed to do these records anymore, but like everything old is new and cool again. So I don't see why we can't. And so congrats on all of it.
We forget about the masses too. You know, like, if a couple hundred people listen to a whole CD, are you joking? Right. That's a couple hundred. Like, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Any day we'll take it. Any day. So, yeah, guys, a lot of new stuff coming out. I hope you guys follow it. I hope you stay with it. June 25th. She's got music coming out.
That's me. Red light's turning green.
So you guys just follow along with us, and we just appreciate it. I appreciate you allowing me space on your outlet and your platform and all that stuff too. Thank you for promoting my stuff.
Thank you. It's been a pure pleasure, and I just love your outlook on life. I think it's very relatable, and I'm excited for everybody to get to know you more.
Thank you.
Even if they can just put their own selves into your music and get to know you after that. But I think they should, because it's been a pure pleasure. So it's awesome to get to know you, Allie Colleen, and we'll talk to you very soon. Cheers. Did I tell you that she was going to be the coolest or what? How down to earth is Allie Colleen? Make sure you guys go follow her on everything, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music. Obviously, we're so excited for her upcoming releases, and I just can't wait to see where all this music life takes her. And hopefully we can keep in touch. Maybe we'll catch back up with her pretty soon. That would be awesome. So I have very cool news for our FIREDISC Nation out there. Some of you were lucky enough last episode to win amazing prizes, like we always do here on Fired Up Live. But I have your names right here, and I would love to read you the winners. So if you tuned in last time and you commented during the episode, that's what gave you your chance to win. And 3 of you did. So good luck to you guys tonight who are tuning in. Make sure you're leaving comments below for your chance to win, and I'll announce those next episode. Okay, enough suspense. Let's start with the coffee swag pack. So you're getting your very own Hoyser Country Blend coffee. Picked it out myself, and it's just delicious. So I want to send this off tonight to Daniel Rogers. Congratulations. You're going to be getting the coffee swag pack. So awesome. I can't wait to read about your coffee moment. The swag pack coming to... Wow, this person is really going to be excited about this one. The FIREDISC Cookers swag pack is going off to Robert Baker. Congratulations, Robert. Oh my gosh, he's not even going to believe that. He's definitely a Hoyser Country follower for sure right there. Cheers, Robert. All right, and the big FIREDISC cooker going home for the summer and for always. You can keep it. Congrats. It's going to Kent Westfall. Congratulations to all of our winners, and I can't wait. Make sure when you get these prizes, take pictures of them, tag me. We want to see how you are using these at home and in your neighborhoods and with your families, and where you're drinking your coffee and who you're grilling for this summer. So make sure you're taking pictures, tagging FIREDISC, tag me, Claudia Hoyser, and we just can't wait to share those with everybody here. So thank you guys so much for an amazing episode. I want to wrap up tonight by giving you a sneak peek at a lyric video we just released for the first song we've let go off of my record that's coming out June 25th. And we just kind of did a sneaky surprise release this week of a song called Wicked. It's a heartbreak song, but I hope that you can find a way to enjoy it because it feels good at the same time. It's one of those you can just sing along to really loud in your cars. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please feel free, go add it to your Spotify playlist. That really helps me out. And grab it on Apple Music. I also have a link I've been sharing on Facebook and on my Instagram to pre-save the whole record. And we want to let you know when that comes out. So you can sign up with your email at claudiahoyser.com, and I'll let you know when the physical copies become available. And you guys have just been so awesome. Thank you for letting me host Fired Up Live. I'm so glad you guys have been enjoying the show. Here's Wicked.
some kind of wicked heartbreak. I set myself up again. I just put my heart right on the slate. I thought I'd have braved it all. What a mistake, loving you, darling, and you walked away. The night's always longer, the storm's always stronger when you cut your end of the string. We fixed what we could, but the glue was no good, and the damage was too much to shake. Some kind of wicked heartbreak. Wicked heartbreak. Some kind of wicked heartbreak. Now everything in this room reminds me of how much it takes. Why did the colors in the pictures all change? Tell me that black and white all fades away. The night's always longer, the storm's always stronger when you cut your end of the string. We fixed what we could, but the glue was no good, and the damage was too much to shake. Some kind of wicked heartbreak. Wicked I'm so mad I could break everything that we had. I could split it right up into two. That would mean I'm destroying all of the things that I ever built with you. Some kind of wicked heartbreak. Wicked
In today's world, time with family is more valuable than ever. Meet FIREDISC, the original portable propane cooker. It sets up in seconds, fires up fast, and cooks anything you throw at it. Whether it's a quick meal at home or in the great outdoors, FIREDISC has you covered. Take your kitchen outside and enjoy everything that makes good food great. FIREDISC, cooking at home made easy.